Michael in Ohio on the phone. What's up, Michael?
What's up, bud? Hey, I just want to talk about how Conor McGregor and Cowboy Cerrone going to fight on January 18th. And do you think Conor McGregor's going to get smacked in the mouth?
Michael, I appreciate that. I was watching the Sports Center late night last night, whenever I got home. And somebody, I forget who it was on there, somebody who seemed to know what they were talking about said, which, by the way, if you seem to know what you're talking about, I'm going to go ahead and take what you're saying as gospel if it's something I don't know what I'm talking about. He said that this is a good fight for Conor because Cowboy Cerrone's on the tail end of his career. He has a couple losses. Conor hasn't gotten a win in a few years. This is a good thing to get his confidence back because even though he is the most confident fighter we've seen in recent history, after having a loss and then disappearing for a while, getting a lot of money, getting into some problems, you get a win over a guy with a notable name that you can definitely promote and make big money off of. The swagger could come back for Conor, which then could propel him into a potential title run or something along those lines. In my eyes, though, I've said this. I don't know if Cowboy Cerrone has $1 billion. I don't know if Cowboy Cerrone has a yacht. But in a profession where it revolves around being gritty and enjoying the process, if Conor McGregor can come back and be just as good of a fighter as he was a couple years ago, after getting to experience the luxuries of life with yachts and things like this and Rolls Royces and all this stuff, and he is still waking up in the morning and rolling at 6 a.m. and getting punched in the face by other people, you have to have nothing but respect for that man's work ethic. And in my eyes, if that was me, there's no chance in hell I'm doing that. If I have a yacht, you're not going to see me rolling jujitsu at 6 a.m. in the morning getting tapped out by a guy that's 350 pounds. But fighters are different animals, and I would like to see how this plays out. But the person on the television that seemed to know what they were talking about said this is like a perfect fight for Conor to come back to. And after watching Robbie from Barstool's tour of Dana White's office, which is next level, if you haven't seen that, you should watch it. His office is... It's a building. It's beautiful. But he goes into this room where he makes these fights and he starts like, this is what the ratings of this fighter did and the ratings of this fighter did, and this is where this person's sitting and how many fights they got left on contract. And the way he is a fight maker, basically, the way he does it, everybody's saying this is a genius fight to put together by Dana White. It's going to get good promotion with the Cowboy who knows how to talk, Conor who knows how to talk. I think they have respect for each other, actually. I think they've talked nicely about each other, which will be interesting to see how that all gets played out. But everybody's saying this is good for Conor McGregor. Do you know much about the fighting, Michael?
Yeah, I do and I don't. You know, I just hate Conor McGregor, so it's just a shot at it, really.
Why do you hate him?
Because he's freaking cocky, man. All he does is run his mouth like he's some BA from Ireland. I'm some BA from Ohio.
I think you can say badass, by the way. I think you can say badass.
I wanted to say Ravens flock, baby.
I like Michael a lot. By the way, he's from Ohio and is a fan of the Ravens because when the Browns left Cleveland, they became the Ravens. These two new teams came back, and not new teams, but the Bengals and Browns haven't been able to win for him. He said, you know what? Team decided to leave, so did my fanhood. I'm going right to Baltimore. Good for Michael. I like that Michael guy a lot. Hey, Michael, you should call back sometime.
Great call.
I enjoyed that a lot. That Conor McGregor news was big news, though, I guess, right?
For sure.
And I think that was just Dana White throwing a bone to Donald Cerrone because he's been so good for the league for so long. He's had a long career. It's coming to an end. I think this is like, hey, I'm going to give you this shot because I don't think this is who McGregor would have chosen. I think it's like I don't think he's much a fan of McGregor anymore. So it's like, well, if you're going to come back, you're going to have to fight him because jiu-jitsu guys give him problems. And he's one of the better jiu-jitsu guys.
Cerrone is?
Yeah.
I wish I could do the Irish accent because at the press conference he said, when you get to fight me, you call your wife. You say, we've made it. We've done it. That's kind of what I think Dana White's doing for Cerrone here.
Yeah, I think so. It's about like this is probably the biggest fight. Well, it is the biggest fight Cerrone's ever had.
6 million career earnings, to your point, versus McGregor's $6 billion.
He said he's made $1 billion off that proper 12.
Yeah. Also, Cerrone,
so
talking about grit, he travels to fights in like an RV and stays in them. So like he is like the epitome of grit.
And I don't know much about fighting, right? I watch the fights. I watch every single time there's a fight. I watch them just because the human cockfighting thing is kind of very intriguing to me, right? I can never do it. So I think that's why I'm so intrigued by it. It's why I watch Dateline and these murder mysteries, because these are things that I could never physically or mentally do. So when you watch people do stuff, it's like awesome to see. It's like, man, what are these humans? And I enjoy watching them, like, you know, like almost play chess and checkers and what they're doing, but I mean, we're here for the bombs like to get thrown on each other. That's what I'm there for. I don't know much about that, but I feel like mentally I can kind of relate, right? Where your entire life, what you're working your ass off for is financial freedom, right? That's what you're working your ass off for. You grind, you grind, you grind, you grind. And then you get a paycheck, and it's like, all right, I'm comfortable. And if you get to the point where you're like, this is enough for me, normally you see guys kind of plateau. But if you want more, you continue to grind, right? So I got a chance to get through a couple contracts and kind of keep going. Now I want even more, but in a different fashion. But you see so many people, once they get what they think is their dream, kind of plateau. I don't know how Conor has very much said that money is his motive. Like, that is what he is behind this for. I don't know how much you could possibly want, which could potentially affect how you train. I don't know Conor well enough, I guess. I don't know him because he almost made it through an entire boxing match, which I guess is cardio-wise is harder than anything. He made it a lot longer than anybody gave him a credit for.
Yeah, he did.
I mean, he made, 12 rounds or 11 rounds or something like that. And for the first 10, it felt like he was winning, but I guess that was the old rope-a-dope. I mean, that was what was supposed to happen is what everybody was saying. So if he can get through that, with earning what his entire life he's been dreaming of earning, I think I would give him a lot more respect than I've ever showed him, which has been a lot, by the way. I thought he was going to beat Floyd. I thought he was going to beat Floyd Mayweather. How dumb did that sound? They had odds on like a plus 10,000.
Yeah,
I think that's why.
Too good not to.
I liked it so much. Yeah, I had to take it. But for me, I just, in that profession where you have to really, really like get your ass kicked to be good, I just don't know how you walk off the yacht right into that. And if he does,
No way.
I'll be so impressed.
No, you've nailed it, man. You can't maintain that hunger. And I get it. That's what happened to him when, who's the wrestler that demolished? Yeah, Khabib. Versus Cerrone. Cerrone's not really hungry either. He does very well. But that guy, Khabib, somebody like that who's literally fighting for existence.
Swimming in rivers.
No chance.
Yeah, he's swimming against currents in rivers in Russia.
Wrestling bears.
No shot.
Yeah.
He's doing yoga with his proper 12, punching old guys drunk at bars. I mean, it's hard. If he does it, kudos is the way we should look at that. But I just don't see it.